Okay, so it looks like we're live.
Mhm.
I'm Angela in Louisville, Texas. We're excited to be here today. Share a little bit. We had a fun initiative we started this year to get teachers. So it looks like we're live. Uh-oh, I hear someone else's.
I'm Angela.
In Louisville, Texas. We're excited to be here today. Share a little bit. We had a fun initiative we started this year.
I'm hearing myself somewhere else.
It looks like we're
Let me
live.
check real quick.
Oh, I hear someone else's.
I'm Angela.
In Louisville, Texas. We're excited to be here today. Share a little bit. We had a fun initiative we started this year.
I'm hearing myself somewhere else.
Hi, Miriam.
I'm Angela.
Okay, I think I've got mine cleaned up, so I'm not hearing myself anymore. All right. Are we good?
Yeah.
Okay. So this year, well, I'll introduce the team. Kelly, if you see Kelly down there, she's our coordinator, social studies coordinator. Jen and Rick are my counterparts. We're instructional coaches in Louisville ISD. We work with 6th grade through 12th grade. So we wanted to find a way to connect teachers this year and to get them to be able to share with each other, as opposed to us sharing all the time, because we've got a lot of really great things going on in our district. We want to bring people together. So I'm going to snag your screen for a minute to kind of show you a little bit about this initiative. Uh-oh, hang on. There we go. Oh. Okay, so hopefully you can see our presentation a little bit here. So this is the picture I really love. If you can see it with all the smiling faces. We started this about 3 months ago and really just wanted to get people to connect and chat. We had a lot of fun doing it. You'll see some familiar faces through the presentation. But really what we wanted to do was connect people, all kinds of people across the district, give people an opportunity to share what's working in their classroom, and really to kind of keep it broad. So not necessarily specific social studies lessons about George Washington or the Civil Rights Movement or whatever, but big stuff that could probably be done in any kind of classroom. It could be done in any content, any grade level. So we decided they should be short, brief, quick and convenient. So we do them every Wednesday for about 15 minutes. It's funny because we started doing this and then someone reached out to us and said, hey, you need to present this at MADPD. And we said, well, what's that format like? And we looked it up and it's exactly what we were doing with Basecamp with our mini lessons. 15 minutes share and presentation of resources. And then a little bit of Q&A afterwards. And sometimes people hang around a little longer to ask for resources and things. We've been using Zoom for our presentations. And the why is just to connect people, because it seems like we don't really get to see each other all that much outside of our classrooms, really. So we started in January, and we worked for about 3 months. We had 14 sessions.
Classrooms, really.
We used Zoom.
So we met
about 15 teacher presenters. We had representations from middle school and high school and all of our zones. We have 5 high schools, so there's a lot of teachers. Over the course of the time, we've got about 40 attendees, mostly teachers. We've had some administrators, assistant principals, a librarian here or there, liaisons that work with ELLs and SPED, and we're trying to expand that group. But what was really cool is to see what people shared. A lot of skill practice, writing, reading, and vocabulary strategies. We introduced a couple of books that have kind of been floating around for a while, and teachers are implementing those strategies. But, you know, if you look around, you'll see that, well, this one in particular, we did have a lot of teachers choose to present strategies for reading, writing, vocabulary, and academic conversations. This was really kind of the heaviest work teachers shared here. And then you can check out that slide a little later if you want. But in the pictures, you can see that you have teachers presenting live, teachers presenting, filming a video to share, teachers sharing student work and feedback, videos, and a lot of good conversation about what worked and what didn't work and kind of how to work around that. And then we also had some sessions about connecting to outside, to the community, to other classrooms. We had a really great world tour meetup. There's a handful of campuses in the district that do the 24-hour tour. It's a lot of fun. Technology share outs. and then supporting different groups of people. So within those 3 months and those, 14, 15 meetings we had a great wealth of strategy shared. And I don't have it in the presentation to share with you, but we got a lot of feedback from teachers in the presentations. It was really great because people started connecting with each other, sending emails. Hey, I want to link to that. I really like your presentation. And that has kind of continued to happen as we've gone through this, since we want to build on it next year. So we wanted to share that, share what we liked about it, but I want to kind of show you what it looks like for us. So our district uses Canvas as a learning management system. Last summer, we created a social studies course for all of the social studies teachers in the district. Got them enrolled. This is where we house a lot of things for them, a lot of resources, some of the kind of businessy stuff, documents, PLC information, resources for curriculum and all that. But we're going to go to the professional development tab. We wanted this to be a kind of a Basecamp or a home base for people to come back to. So we house our Basecamp mini sessions in our Canvas. We share a Zoom link with everyone in the district, all of our social studies teachers, administrators. Sometimes we drop them out to other groups we want to try to include. And then within that presentation, we also are housing all of the archived lessons in a Google document that we add to every week. So you can reach out to the person, you can read a little bit about their strategy, watch a video if there's video, and always see the archived Zoom video. So you can see that through the course of our 3 months, we've had a lot of really cool things submitted and shared out to people in the district. And this is probably one of my favorite documents. Like, I love pulling this up now because in January it had 2 things filled out, and now we have it filled out all the way down even to our presentation today, because we want to use this video going forward as we try to grow our Basecamp lessons in our PLC. What's worked? We've had a lot of people join in and a lot of positive feedback from all kinds of people. We have a base of lessons and activities and strategies and videos that people have modeled to share with other teachers in the district. It's really been a great thing, and I'm hoping there's some teachers here that will be able to provide some feedback on what they experienced with this and kind of where they'd like to go with it, because we do want to grow. We want more presenters, more teachers, and we would love to connect with people outside of Louisville, outside of Texas, anywhere to continue to, make ourselves better and learn and connect. I'm going to drop out of the screen share for a sec and go back in here. Rick, Jen, I kind of breezed through that pretty fast. Do y'all have anything to add or share about the Basecamp experience?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. No, I think you hit the highlights. The only thing, we're people that are watching this, we're a very large district north of Dallas. So when we have all these hundreds of teachers from 6 through 12, using our Zoom link and knowing that it's always going to be there on Wednesday, people can pop in. It's just been a communication base, and it has sparked more communication. And whenever you can get teachers talking, like you've already said, it's a good thing. So it's just been a fun experience.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
One thing I think that's really neat about this project is that the fact that we're keeping the recorded sessions on Basecamp, and a lot of teachers can't come to the 4:15 session. A lot of the high schoolers are doing tutorials, so they can't necessarily come, but they are watching the sessions that are recorded, and it's become a really great bank of resources for people who may not be able to come because they have duty at that time or they can't come live, but they are looking at those sessions as a chance for figuring out a new strategy for their classroom. And I've had a number of people tell me that they've watched one of the recorded sessions on Basecamp and immediately were able to apply that in their classroom. And that's a lot of power, and it really speaks to the great work that the teachers have done to share their expertise with others. And it's really cool when a high school teacher is looking at a middle school strategy and adapting it immediately for their kids, and a middle school teacher sees a high school person's strategy and immediately adapting it for their kids and using it in the classroom. So I think that's a really neat addition that we're seeing a lot of with having that housed in Basecamp.
I think one of my favorite stories is probably any of the times it's the teacher connection piece, because we put the resources out and there's so many times that the resources go out, but they don't get accessed again, or no one knows where to find them or whatever. But I think what we've seen, and there's some teachers in this chat right now who are a part of this story, that people are connecting outside of the 15-minute window, which is really neat. So I think one of my favorite stories is someone presented writing windows, which is a strategy in there. Ms. Burke, she's in here right now. She presented, and about 2 or 3 other people did this. They said, you know what, I really like this. I'm going to take it home and try it. And they did go try it on their campuses. And when I came back to that PLC about a month or so later, her 7th grade teacher, she teaches 6th grade, but her 7th grade teachers also tried it. And they had her video kind of testimonial tutorial feedback to guide them in designing their writing windows. And in addition to them doing the writing windows, one of the ELA teachers on her campus also. So we're crossing from one content to another. And I think what I've enjoyed is really seeing the impact that it's having. So even if we go back and look and say, okay, well, we've only had 14 presenters, but we've had 40 people watch, and we have seen that impact outside of those 40, 45, 50 people. And we just want to keep growing that. Dr. Glos, what do you think? What's been your experience?
It's been nothing but fabulous. The thing that I love, I think the most is one of the things is older teachers coming in who've been teaching for a very long time, and still they have things to learn, but they always reach out to the younger ones and say, man, you did a really good job. It's just becoming such a community of collaboration and building. And the other thing I did want to say is we purposely did not make it specific to middle school or to high school, because we didn't want like a high school teacher saying, oh, well, I don't want to watch it because it pertains to middle school. We tried to keep the description as general as we could, and I think that we found that that works. But we know that teachers are benefiting. We're benefiting from it. We're learning all sorts of things. So it's been really, really good for everyone.
Garza, I saw your mic was unmuted. You're usually the first person that have a question or a comment.
The reason why I hadn't commented is because you were calling on people, so I thought I was supposed to wait my turn. But what I was going to say is the reason why I like it, I mean, I presented on one, but the reason why I like it, it's, okay, number one, I like school. Don't judge me. But I really like school, but I feel like I don't have a lot of time because I'm super busy, but I can get a lesson in 15 minutes, talk to the person, get the information, and then anything I don't remember, all I have to do is go back to the Basecamp lessons and look at them, and I can download their forms so I don't have to make anything, and all I do is substitute my information in there. So I got an idea, I got a lesson, I got all the sheets, and I have everything for myself. And my goal was to make all the lessons, but I missed one because of STAR test. But it was really good, and I've enjoyed these 15-minute sessions because I've really learned a lot from different people and things I never thought of. Like the last one that we just watched, I never even thought about using my notes as the reading for the students. Like that was so genius and so simple. Like I don't even have to make copies. Like I didn't think about that, but I really have enjoyed the Basecamp mini lessons. It's really like awesome that in 15 minutes I learned so much, and then that person's there to answer all my questions. So I've enjoyed myself. I'm sure Brooke has something to say.
Oh, there you go.
Tag, you're it.
I had to turn my mic on. What I like the best about it is that when people would present, we would be able to ask questions and get ideas on how to recreate the lesson for maybe the English language learners or the SPED kids, or, we could get suggestions and ideas on how to teach that same concept at every level, which I thought was really great, because sometimes it's hard to think of those things on your own. But if you have that collaboration, it makes it much easier and much more effective. I love them all. 100% attendance right here.
Oh, see, she wasn't going to say anything until Garza said something about the perfect attendance. But I think if you're here Sunday, that makes up for it. But she's also here Sunday, so she's still one step ahead of you. I'm really glad y'all are here, because we have our insight to what we like about it, but the teacher testimonials are the most important voice. So I'm really happy y'all are here for this, because it just wouldn't mean as much if you weren't. Miriam, Miss Calixto.
Right here.
Okay, so Garza and Burke, the two teachers that just spoke, teach middle school, 6th grade and 8th grade, geography and U.S. history. Miss Calixto's at the high school, and she teaches geography.
Yeah, so I'm at the high school level. As a teacher into her second year of teaching, I have benefited a lot from the Basecamp mini sessions. Even though I haven't been as consistent as Garza and Burke, I have to say that going into these sessions, I have taken a lot, because a lot of these strategies are very on. And as a newbie teacher, like many of us, have kind of tended to rely on just lectures, just teaching the material directly to the students. So, learning from these people all across the districts who have, experience, teaching for so many years in different contents, and just modifying all of these strategies that they incorporate into their classroom into my own content has been really, really beneficial. So just to even see how these teachers model it in their classroom, how they modify it to their SPED and ELL populations has been really wonderful to see. And just like what Ms. Garza said, just thinking about how us teachers wouldn't have any idea how we could incorporate some of those ideas into our classrooms if we didn't log into these sessions. So I have taken a lot from these sessions. And I love that they're archived and that I can go back to them. And as any new teacher, for us to be able to have this resource available to us in Canvas is just really, really good.
Thank you, Miriam. I think it's really helped us too. I know y'all have been really proactive in going out to check the archived videos and touch base every week. But for me, it is really great to go sit with teachers and we chat and brainstorm ideas and stuff. And it's funny because quite often people go straight to, I need help with vocabulary, reading, writing, academic vocabulary. It's like the same stuff over and over again. And because the bank is so, generic's not the word I want to say, but skill-based and overarching skill-based, that we now have a bank of modeled videos and testimonials and descriptions by teachers and student feedback and teacher feedback and student examples, that those are things that we can access to support other teachers around the district. It's really awesome. I'm excited about it. I don't know what we thought we would accomplish between January and May. I don't know if I sent that email out that had the big list, with all the strategies and everything. And I'm not sure what we thought this would look like, but personally, I've really enjoyed it. It's something I look forward to every week. And it's going to be kind of sad Wednesday when we don't have one, unless Bert Garza or Calixto wants to host another one just for the fun of it. But I think maybe, we have a little bit of time left. I'd love to hear what y'all want to do going forward.
What I wanted to do going forward was I thought it would be fun to do a perspective of students. I have some kids that I think would teach a Basecamp mini to teachers about strategies that are effective for them and not effective for them and why they're effective for them. And even some of my little ELL babies who like speak hardly any English to come on and talk about like the things that they've liked and the things that don't help them and why those things don't help them. Because sometimes, like, I guess the biggest lesson I ever learned in life was, you know, you tell kids to look something up in a dictionary. Well, one day the boy gave me a letter. He's from Burma. And he gave me a letter and he was like, go ahead and look this up and reply to me. I didn't finish it until the end of the day and I couldn't really reply. And he was like, do you understand what I'm saying now? I was like, yes, I'll never ask you to look up anything in the dictionary again. You can't put all the pieces together or respond. I was like, whoa, that was a really great lesson he taught me. But like, I think it's important for those kids to be able to voice their opinion and like teach us things that maybe we don't see because we're teachers, you know? And so we don't always see from a student's perspective. But I think it's important that if we want to get better, we have to understand our students better and their struggles.
You'll have to remember that story so we can use that. I like that. I haven't heard that one. I like that one a lot. And we've talked about that because you definitely have some kids that y'all have worked on academic conversations so much, and you've raised the bar to expect them to record their voice, film themselves, and talk with other people. That you do have some kids that I think would love to do this. It'd be awesome to get that student perspective. Mrs. Burke, Ms. Callisto, what do y'all think?
I think it would be awesome to give examples of how the strategies can be used across curriculum. Like if we present a social studies strategy, then we could give an example. This is how it could be done in ELA. This is how it could be done in math. This is how it could be done in science, and be able to modify it so that it fits, and then be able to go and present that, or, you know, email it, whatever. This is a great idea to the other teachers so that we're using similar strategies so that it's, I don't want to say easier for the kids, but so that the strategies are already there. They know how to do it. They can do it well and then just get better from there. I think that is something that we should focus on for next year.
And to piggyback off you, Burke, I think that is a really great idea. One time, Castillo and I paired up for language anticipation guides because I was struggling with them a little bit in my classroom because of the reading part. And so she started using them in math because her and I have the same kids. And so it helped me because they have to read like these problems for math. And so it helped me out. But it would be really awesome if we could use them in all 3 grade levels because the kids would get used to them quicker. And they're just good skills to learn in general.
Yeah, and I guess for me, like, it'd be really nice, like, you know, to even just invite other teachers that, you know, don't necessarily pertain to like, our social studies content. I don't know, just for us to see like what kind of strategies they use into their content, just like moving forward and seeing how this whole idea, just whole session ends up growing. I don't know, that'd be like really interesting for us to see, just like with what Garza was talking about, how she like teamed up with Castillo, who I know teaches math at her school, just to see how these different strategies end up working in different content areas. So really good.
Yeah, I think that's something we've talked about trying to get. I got one librarian this year to join us and one assistant principal. I think Rick got an assistant principal in there. I think we've seen some ELL people and SPED people, but yeah, expanding, because that can go into how students learn, any class, anywhere. A lot of these strategies, any class, anywhere, but then you can get into, you know, how you engage kids in those relationships and interactions. And there's so many conversations I think that can be had in this format to serve a larger audience. I think that's the thing that's kind of like, we wanted that to happen. Like, oh, now we actually have a community outside of the classroom where we're talking about things. And it really started to feel like that about a month or 2 in, because we had people coming back for the community part and the interaction and the, hey, I get to talk to an adult and a peer who's kind of dealing with the same stuff I am, and we get to bounce around some ideas. So I think that community piece is big. But I really like these ideas for what's next. Um, well, let's see, Rick, Jen, do y'all have anything? We've talked about a lot of things, but go ahead, Kelly.
Well, I have something else, and I want to hit on it before this ends. When you said we didn't know what to expect, that's absolutely the truth. We had zero idea what was going to happen. We didn't know if teachers were going to come. We just reached out and tried to get them and do the best we could. And I guess if you're watching this and you're thinking, I could never do that, or I'm not sure what to do, we didn't know. We just did it and it worked out really good. So I would encourage anyone, when you have ideas like this, or the worst that can happen is it doesn't work and you don't do it again. But try it, because I think we're just building upon teacher expertise, and it's just really been so valuable. But Angela was right. We had zero idea what was going to happen. And so I encourage anyone to try something like this, or other things. You don't have to know what's going to happen. If it doesn't work out, you just won't do it anymore. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, I like that. We didn't know what was going to happen, and I don't know that we thought we'd be here. But even about a month or so in, we wanted more people, and we had conversations about, okay, we've got a certain group of people that's coming back. How do we get more people? And at the end of the day, if it's 5 people at the end of a year, that's very valuable, because those 5 people have an impact on their campus with their kids. So even if you do it and it's 5 teachers that do it all year, go for it, because you're doing some really good work that's going to benefit everyone they interact with, pretty much.
And more than likely, like for us, like, so I do 8th grade, Brooke does 6th grade. We talk about it to our team. So like the one person who's listening to it, it's probably spilling over to everybody on their team. So I would like talk to Grogan and White about what I see, and like the ideas. Like I was talking to him, Grogan, about the notes, and he was like, oh, I could totally do that with my Cornell notes. I got to go watch that one. And so like, it's also word of mouth that people don't realize, is like I tell someone an idea that I saw, and then they'll go back and watch that specific one for it. And so I feel like we may not see the numbers on the screen, but the ideas are translating into classrooms because the teachers are talking about it. And the more they like the idea and the more they see it and the more that it helps them, I think the more that they'll watch it, or they'll go back and watch it later, because sometimes like we just get really busy, especially at the end of the school year, and there's just not time. But the great thing about Basecamp Mini is you can do it whenever you have time, because it's always archived. And that's the greatest thing I think about it. Maybe you don't watch it that second, but you'll watch it when you have the time, and that's important.
I want to piggyback off of what Monique was just saying about how, when people start talking, and, we're getting more comfortable with this video conferencing thing, and, people that are putting their ideas and their lessons out there, and their fear of being judged, the contagiousness of all these campuses that have had teachers do these things and have become more comfortable with it. It's just been really nice, because you hear it across from campus to campus. Oh, Monique over at Delay did this, and okay, maybe I wonder when my turn will be. People are becoming more comfortable with putting their ideas out there and having this type of dialogue, that a lot of us have gotten past this, oh, I'm worried about what I'm going to look like on this video conference, or worried about my idea going out there in the whole district. It's, we're comfortable and we're liking the dialogue, and a lot of teachers have come a long way in the last couple of years in that type of mindset.
Yeah, I agree. It really great conversation. I'm glad we got to have this, and I'm glad y'all got to be here. If you're watching, hopefully you'll think about doing it or trying it. You can reach out to us or any of our teachers. We'll try it. We're going to do it again next year. I'm sure it might look a little different. We've talked about maybe we'll have to pitch this to you guys, to the teachers, but maybe other times, alternate times, like AM or PM, maybe a Saturday morning or something like that, where you could knock out 2 or 3. But I appreciate y'all being here, and anyone who's watching outside. We're really excited about it, and it's pretty cool when you try something and it makes you excited. So I'm going to show y'all one thing before you go. There should be a link in the comments. Let's see. Oop, no, I don't want that one. Hold on. There should be a link in the comments out to our presentation. And it's not a real big deal or a super amazing presentation, but if you want to contact us or you want a little refresher of kind of what you saw today, it is open, it's shareable, you can check it out. We have our contact info on the last slide. You can tweet us, you can email us, you can ask us questions, you can make a copy of it, you can do whatever you want. If you want to come back in and see like the calendar that we use with the teachers, or what one of those archived lesson looks like, you can reach out to us and we'd be happy to have that conversation with y'all going forward. I think that's about it. I think we're past time unless anyone has any questions or additions.
Well, thank you, Angela.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Rick. Thanks everybody for showing up. Y'all have a good Sunday and we'll see you soon.
Good to see y'all.
Yeah. Bye.
Great job.
Hi.